Metroid Samus Returns comes to the Nintendo 3DS, and with it comes 2 new Amiibo figures. Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here from my channel Nintendo Collecting. If you're interested, I have already unboxed the Samus edition of the new Nintendo 3DS XL. It's right there. There's also a link in the top as a card if you want to check that out. This game was being remade by fans, and Nintendo took down that game, and a lot of people are wondering why Nintendo sometimes does that. And in this case, they actually were doing the game on their own, so that's really incredible news. First of all, this special edition took me a little while to get my hands on. Eventually, Amazon opened up pre-orders. Not pre-orders, but I guess post-orders, because it was already out. So I'm getting my hands on both of these items a little bit later. The figurines here I found at EB Games, which is GameStop in Canada, but this I found on Amazon. So here you do have a nice image of Samus, and you also know that this comes with a soundtrack, a music CD included. That's why it's a little bit thicker. Nintendo Red on the top. We do have the Samus logo on the bottom, or the Screw Attack logo. On the side, it just says the name of the game, and on the other side, the same thing. On the back, though, you get a bit more information, of course, about the game. You get classic Metroid Returns. Blast your way through the dangerous planet of SR-388 in this full reimagining of Metroid 2 Return of Samus game. So in this, though, you get 4 new abilities, apparently. You get Scan Pulse, Lightning Armor, Beam Burst, and Phase Shift. So please, let me know what are your thoughts if you've played this game already. Do you like it? How's the soundtrack? Because I'm opening this up a little bit later than a lot of other people would be getting it in. Now, I'm usually after collectible items, and I feel like any sort of collector's edition over time usually does go up in value, especially if it's Nintendo related, and in this case I'm really hoping that the game is something special. Let's take a look at these, though. A lot of people would like to keep this kind of stuff sealed. I'm going to about opening it up, and I'll actually play the games as well. So I'm just going to lean this up over here, and we're going to take a look first of all at the game itself. So this says, this is just the exact same as the box. It says the name of the game on the side there, but on the back, this almost leads me to believe that this is the collector's edition. Maybe this is exclusive to the collector's edition. If you bought the other version of the game, that's just the normal one, let me know what the back of the game looks like, because it probably has more than just this on it. So I guess this might be exclusive to the special edition. Let's open this up. I'm not expecting a lot inside of these packages anymore, especially because Nintendo did away with all of the instruction manuals. But with collector's editions, I would love to be able to pay a little bit more and actually get the instruction manual. I do like reading them from time to time. I just think it's a bit of a nostalgic trip for me. I really do like the design of this colors as you approach the planet as well. So inside you have viewing the game manual, which is an e-manual. Then you have the little game right here. However, it looks like this is reversible, so let's take a look at this. It is. That's really cool. Alright, so this is probably the nicest touch of the collector's edition. This is the reverse side of the original Game Boy game, so you can flip it. And that's really neat. So you get your idea of what the original game did look like on the Game Boy when it originally came back, when it was originally released. That's really neat that they did this. You can choose what side to put that as. I'm actually just going to flip this over for you right there and put that. Now let's take a look at the soundtrack. So the soundtrack has a nice picture of Samus on the one side. On the other side we have the Samus Returns logo, which looks quite spectacular. I am going to open this up and not keep it sealed either. Alright, let's hopefully not damage this. And after I'm done this, I will unbox those Amiibo in this video as well. I thought it would be good just to do one bigger video for these items, rather than split them all up into individuals. I thought the system, though, was worth unboxing on its own. Alright, let's take a look at what you get in here. Nice Screw Attack logo on that disc. And here's a set list of all the songs that you get with this as well. So if you're interested in any of those specifically. On this, you do get, this is actually a wide variety of Metroid songs. So this is not just from one game. This is from all of the games, sort of the history of Samus and Metroid. So that's really interesting. If we move the disc and remove it, let's see what kind of art they put behind this. That's really neat. They hit a Metroid right there, which is pretty cool. I do have a Metroid that you can kind of see on here, and there's one right there that's quite large, but that's really neat. They put a Metroid right there behind the disc. Definitely worth getting this collector's edition if you can get your hands on it. So next up, let's take a look at the Amiibo figures. Just going to leave this kind of at the side for now. Alright, these figures now, we have 2 of them. I really do like the Metroid logo up here in the top left-hand corner, and you have a picture of what you're getting in here. Samus Aran and Metroid. Samus Aran. No, Samus Aran. A lot of people do say that differently. Now on the back, what do we have here? I haven't looked at the back of this at all. Use these Amiibo figures with Metroid Return of Samus to do the following. Unlock an Aeon reserve tank. Am I even pronouncing that correct? I'm not even sure. Mark the position of the closest Metroid on your map. That's pretty neat. That's actually useful. View artwork from the original Metroid 2 Return of Samus. So the original game, you can view artwork, and then challenge yourself with Fusion Mode after beating the game. You can play Fusion Mode as well, which looks like it changes the suit. More like Metroid Fusion. Alright, let's take a look at these figures. I am going to compare them to the Super Smash Bros. Line of Samus. I also have Zero Suit Samus here, which won't be as relevant. And it's nice to get a 2-pack of this. The 2-pack is a little bit more expensive because you are getting 2 figures. Normally, though, I think this is actually more expensive than buying them individually. However, I think they're more expensive because these are like premium figures or better figures because they're a little bit bigger. They're almost like the Legend of Zelda figures. Not quite like the Guardian, of course, because the Guardian was huge, but I do feel like they're a little bit better than the Smash Brothers line of Amiibo. And there is actually a really good shout-out that I just want to make. Rose Colored Gaming has a really neat display stand that I think they actually sold out of pretty quickly, but maybe they'll be back in stock by the time I shoot this video or post this video, so hopefully that's the case. They do have a really neat stand for both of these. Nice. So these things are much bigger, they feel, than the Super Smash Bros. Line of Amiibo figures. First of all, let's take a look at Samus. Samus is in a really neat pose this time around. Looks like she might be charging up her suit. Not huge spoilers that this is a she. The bottom has the Screw Attack logo on the base. It's a little bit harder to see, but I'll spin that around so you can kind of see it. So it's like a blue, like a steel blue base with some silver insignia on it as well. Just to give you a good image of what the Samus figure looks like. Really nice chrome, nice detail work. I love the blaster or the cannon that she's wearing. I like it's almost lime green detail with red and orange or copper or whatever you want to color. A lot of people were commenting that the unboxing video I did of the system is not orange, it's red. I wouldn't call it Nintendo Red, I wouldn't call it Mario Red, I would definitely call it closer to orange than red, but somewhere in between, almost like the copper on Samus' suit. So this one looks actually really well detailed. I like the pose, and I do like that this is a lot bigger. This looks much weightier than the other figure for Metroid, or for Samus, I should say, in particular. I like this one a lot better, personally. This one's very simplistic, looks very almost breakable because she looks very thin in this case, and this one she looks about beefed up better, and just looks like it's a higher build quality, and I like the dynamic pose a little bit better. Next up, let's look at the figure of Metroid. So this one, it's kind of like breaking out of its container, which is pretty neat. The same blue base is there, but we do have like ground on this. They're kind of just brown. I'm not sure what that is. It looks like it's almost electric. It's probably from where this was connected when the Metroid was originally in it. Now, this Metroid thing, I wasn't expecting that. See, this is pliable. You can move it, and there's those little parts of the brain inside, and it's attacking this, which looks really neat. This is a really well-made figure. So I understand why these ones are a little bit more expensive, especially because these do scan in game. They're not just toys. They do have a little bit more to do within the game. If you're looking at the heights of these ones, I will tell you them both at once just to kind of go through that. We've got about... It looks like it's about 4 inches for each of them in terms of height. Yeah, I guess if you go up to the top of the cannon or the blaster, it's about 4 inches tall. And these are a lot larger figures than the Super Smash Bros. What are your thoughts on the game? What are your thoughts on the soundtrack? What do you think of the 2 Amiibo figures? Do you think they were worth the price? It's kind of interesting that they are re-releasing some that were already out in Super Smash Bros., but I'm okay with that, especially if they're going to improve the quality and the build of them. So please comment below any of your opinion with Metroid, and it's really nice that they did this, considering last year was the 30th anniversary, and they didn't do anything for it, but for this year they released the game, the system, and the Amiibo figures, so it's nice to see Nintendo giving Metroid some love. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to fill that like bucket. Follow me on all the social media links in the description below the video. And remember, as always, go collect them all and keep smiling while gaming. Thanks for watching, everyone.